So I want to talk about day 2 of driving with Schneider. OTR, new driver, etc., etc. So how that day went, I got up at the end of my 10-hour break, uh, did a pre-trip on the truck, and then went to find the trailer where it had been parked in the lot. I walked around the Houston OC till I found it. Wasn't hard. They had parked it out just a little ways from the maintenance shed. Then I took my cab over to the maintenance shop because I had noticed during my pre-trip an air hiss up in front, and the mechanic came out and looked at it and helped. There's like a small tube that was loose in one of the fittings, so he helped secure it better to get it to quit hissing. And then while he was out there, went ahead and asked him a couple questions I had. Asked him again about the oil fill level. He looked at it as well. So he's now the second mechanic that has looked at it and said it's fine to be overfilled by as much as it is. So as far as that's concerned, I've done what questioning I think I can do for now. And they both the mechanics said it was fine. Then I learned. I've been having trouble finding the air dryer on this truck, and he had trouble finding it too. It's not in the locations that we had seen on trucks in the training program. There's one up in. Usually, it's either up in the front of the hood, the passenger side, or it's back where you can see it between the like under the catwalk on one side or the other, or around that area, the back of the truck. But it's actually this one. He had to go and look at the schematics for the truck, and he found it's way up underneath the kind of about where I'm sitting. It's like right below me in the driver's seat, and it's hard to see. So hard to do an inspection on it, but at least I know where it is. And then asked about the fuel water filter, and I asked about the air bleed valves. There's a little sticker on the side of the truck talking about them, and I didn't know what they were, so he showed me about that. Here in a second, I'll get out and show a couple of things I was talking about. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe it'll help somebody else who's new or somebody who's interested, just might be curious about it. So anyways, after getting help with the mechanical stuff, I then took my the permit book into the driver services, because that's in training they said that's who would help us make sure that they're up to date. And the permit book I had seen before had a bunch of extra like paper in the binder, and mine didn't have that. I didn't know why or what those were, but so I just wanted to make sure that I was fully up to date, and went in there, and it turns out a couple of things are expiring, but it looks like some of them like need specific places, specific OCs to help get them updated, but a lot of them are won't apply very often, or kind of rare occurrences. A lot of them have to do with like alcohol, transporting alcohol in different states. There were a couple that aren't getting updated anymore. I guess the jurisdiction that they applied to is Colorado. I guess they decided not to require those anymore, or whatever. So those don't apply anymore. Then so after checking in, making sure my book was good, my truck was good. Then I went and hooked up to the trailer, did a pre-trip of the trailer, and then headed out. And it was mostly pretty uneventful. Headed out towards Louisiana. I was headed. My load was going to Florida. But I wanted to get on a morning schedule, because the way things have been going, it was kind of setting me in motion to be late at truck stops, and I was nervous about getting parking spots that I could actually get into, because there's some parking spots that I shouldn't try. I don't know. I might be able to if I took a long time and got in everybody's way and got out and looked a whole bunch. And I don't know. Some of them are pretty. I don't know. It's just too much risk if I don't have to. If I don't have to be doing that, I'd rather not. So a way to avoid that is to leave early in the morning, start driving early in the morning, so that I can settle down earlier in the afternoon when there's still lots of parking available. So, and I actually really like that. I did it with my TE, my training, my trainer over the road for the week that I went out. We did a bunch of early mornings, and I liked the schedule. The first early morning driving, it is at night, but it's not the same as like driving late at night after not having sleep. When I get up and I'm fresh, it's not really stressful at all. My mind's clear, and it's not bad at all. And then, so those are almost like free hours in a sense. They just kind of fly by, and then the sun comes up, and I'm usually pretty good. I can, like, it even, I don't know. I like that, the way it's shifted that way, because if you go like run till late, and as it starts to get dark, I start to feel more tired than I even really am sometimes, just because it's dark. Whereas if I'm working into the afternoon, it's hard to feel tired when the sun's up like that. So that works out really well for me. So I wanted to get on that schedule. So I had actually planned to stop a little early that night, so that not push my clock all the way, so that I could then take my 10. When I took the 10-hour, I would be back on track for leaving early in the morning. And it just so happened that as I was at the end of that, towards the end of the run, when I was looking to stop anyways, I hit a really bad traffic jam. I think it was just a construction project on this really a place with nothing, no detours and no shoulder to work with. So they had just closed down a lane, and it was backed everybody up for a long way. It was super slow moving for miles and miles. It felt like, I forget how many miles it was, but I think it was more than 10. It might have been, I don't know. Anyways, it was a lot, and it was really slow, super slow. Set your brakes and wait. It's kind of slow for a little while. And then, and the stop I had marked, it was a rest stop like halfway through it, so it wasn't even done. I didn't know how much further that thing would last, but it turned out to be, a few miles more of that same condition that I skipped out on because I went ahead and pulled off. And I'm kind of surprised that not more people had done that. With the traffic as bad as it was, there were still plenty of spots open in the rest area, and I actually, it was pretty nice. It was a nice little rest area in Louisiana. Found found a nice parking spot. I was still at that time, and I'm still like leery on some of the pull throughs. Aren't as, like, it sounds easy just to pull through, but sometimes those are tight too. So I've been, especially at that time, I was trying to get a pull through with a lane on either side open, but then try to practice as if there was something in those lanes, so I could just, because I had tried one before when I was out with a training engineer. I had messed it up. I hadn't gone out wide enough to start, and so I'd come close, had to back out. So I just wanted to practice that. It's not as easy as it sounds. Even the easy stuff isn't as easy as it sounds, I guess. Or they make it so, like, they get it to where they just keep making it tighter and tighter until what used to be easy isn't anymore. So you still gotta, like, choose exactly when to turn and watch all the angles, and you gotta watch both sides and make sure, because as you're turning in, there's a bunch of angles to be watching at once. Make sure nothing's gonna hit. And so practice that. Found an easy spot, went ahead and got in it, and shut down for the night. That was day 2. Like I said, I'm gonna do a little bit of a tour of some of the things I learned from the mechanic. I'm gonna set the phone down while I do that, so I can climb out of the cab. Alright, so the airlines are here for the release for the air tanks must be drained daily. This is the sticker that is on the side of my truck. I didn't know what it meant or what it was for, and it's for these little hooks here, these 2 wires. I don't know if pull on them. It helps drain the air tanks and gets moisture out. So that's supposed to be done every day. And then there's this thing I had asked about, the fuel water separator. We were taught to inspect it as part of our inspections, but I didn't know exactly what I was looking for. It has something to do with, I knew it had something to do with this black line, but I think if it starts going over this black line, we should talk to somebody about it. But the way he explained it, the mechanic, is that this is an indication of how clogged the filter is. And if the filter's more clogged, then more of the liquid will build up behind it, and that kind of indicates the level of I guess filth in the, or whatever, it might need to be replaced. And then let's see, what was the other thing? It was the air dryer is way back in there. Let's see. It's hard to see, but I should have maybe brought a light, but it's back in there. Oh yeah, right there. So you can kind of see the top of it right there. That's the air dryer. And so that was good to know. Good to find out where that is for this truck. I think that's what. I talked about the oil, but you don't need to see that. It's like, it's just a little overfilled. Well, I guess I can show it. Let's see if I can get it on. So here's the oil dipstick and the line. Let's see, it's hard to point. I need another hand to do this, but you can see it's a little higher than what the engineers would like you to have it filled at. But two mechanics have told me that's fine. So we'll leave it at that for now. Anyways, that's it for now. See you later.